Pop.
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 Pop. Pop.
I'm R.A. Villanueva. A Brief for the Defense by Jack Gilbert. Sorrow everywhere. Slaughter everywhere. If babies are not starving someplace, they are starving somewhere else, with flies in their nostrils. But we enjoy our lives because that's what God wants. Otherwise, the mornings before summer dawn would not be made so fine. The Bengal tiger would not be fashioned so miraculously well. The poor women at the fountain are laughing together between the suffering they have known and the awfulness in their future, smiling and laughing while somebody in the village is very sick. There is laughter every day in the terrible streets of Calcutta, and the women laugh in the cages of Bombay. If we deny our happiness, resist our satisfaction, we lessen the importance of their deprivation. We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of this world. To make injustice the only measure of our attention is to praise the devil. If the locomotive of the Lord runs us down, we should give thanks that the end had magnitude. We must admit there will be music despite everything. We stand at the prow again of a small ship anchored late at night in the tiny port looking over to the sleeping island. The waterfront is 3 shuttered cafes and 1 naked light burning. To hear the faint sound of oars in the silence as a rowboat comes slowly out and then goes back is truly worth all the years of sorrow that are to come. I'll read a poem of my own. Mine will be a beautiful service. 1. When you bury me, fold my arms neat over the plateau of a double-breasted suit, the angle of the lapel matching my now permanent expression. Pressed, chemical, I will look content but confused, as when you watched me turn in my sleep, dreaming of a Golgotha in beeswax, a coffin for swallows, a toothless augur reading the flights and cries of owls. You will hear the cadence of my voice, the snapping oblique of my laugh. Among the votives and canticles, you will trace with the tips of your thumbs lines of demarcation between the fallow of my scalp and the dunes of my forehead. Quiet, you will paste stray hairs back into their place. 2. Memento Mori. All sod and taproot now, all bulb and tuber and stem shoot, mulch throb, lush with worms and slugs, we are never worth more than this. Thrum of the earth, clatter bulge of cicada shells along the coffin's hinges, teak and scented cedar flushed with compost, an elegy of rot, this counterfeit reliquary. If you each day clutch our pillows, press them to your face, pray to take in some atom of me all into the hollows of your chest. Yes, I promise my ghost will find you, should you want someone else to love. What is the poet's responsibility to the world? I don't know if you want to just call it a poet's responsibility, but I think it's everybody's responsibility. There's this epigraph to a graphic novel I once saw where the epigraph, it was translated from the Japanese, and the epigraph was, "The world is not beautiful, therefore it is." And I think it's a human responsibility, as well as a poet, as well as a writer, to pay attention to that paradox, to care about the fact that there is suffering and that there is injustice, and to take notice of that, to pay attention to it, to see it in a way that reconfigures, that innovates, that tests, that recalibrates our value system. It's hard to say that it's a job, because that feels like a profession or something, but it's something we actually all do, and that we need to continue to do and put it into language. Basically, it means to care. Pop.